We have all seen Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton leap before, but usually it is in a game that matters with a touchdown at stake. This time, it was in the first quarter of a preseason game. The ball was around midfield and the outcome of the play wasn't really going to mean anything, unless Newton got hurt. And, for a few minutes, it appeared that he did. You know that feeling you get when you narrowly miss having a car wreck. That was the feeling just about everyone at Bank of America Stadium had Friday night. The preseason is fake, but the injuries are all too real. Newton knows that, but he just can't help himself sometimes. And on 3rd and 9 on Carolina's opening drive, he tried to scramble for a first down and avoid a submarining New England Patriots defensive back by leaping high. It wasn't Newton's most graceful moment. This was a jump reminiscent of Clark Kent, not of Superman. We've seen Newton turn full somersaults in the air before and land on his back, popping up like a gymnast. This time he basically took a high dive straight into the ground, landing awkwardly on his neck as the crowd gasped. The impact caused him to fumble the ball. 3 Patriots were almost on top of it, but somehow Christian McCaffrey ended up with it. Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton leapt high and came down on his head and neck on a scramble in the first quarter versus New England Friday night. Jason E. Mitchek AP Newton did get up quickly, but then he seemed to think better of it and walked slowly to the sideline. Ultimately, there was an injury timeout, as Newton took his helmet off and went under the collapsible blue tent to get checked out. I worried about a possible concussion. Lots of others likely did, too. Into the game came number 2 quarterback Taylor Heinicke. He handed off 3 times to McCaffrey and then threw an incomplete pass that drew a pass interference penalty. All the while, there was an unsettled murmur in the stadium. But then Newton emerged from the blue tent, grabbed his helmet, and went back in the game. He would end up playing the rest of the first half and playing well. He completed 11 of 17 passes for 142 yards and left with Carolina holding a 9-3 lead. Heinicke came in for the start of the third quarter, and it's safe to say we won't see Newton again until September 9th in the regular season opener against Dallas. No way he plays next week in the useless final preseason game. And assuming he doesn't, Newton ended his preseason by completing 68.4% of his passes, right in the range that he and offensive coordinator Norv Turner would love to stay. Newton's career completion percentage is 58.5, so that's significant improvement if it holds. The quarterback didn't get the Panthers in the end zone as much as he would like, with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. But overall, you'd have to judge Newton's preseason a success. Still, if he had hit the ground just a little differently on that ill-advised leap, it would have all been different. I was reminded of what happened 4 years ago. Carolina was playing New England, once again in the 3rd preseason game, in August 2014. New England's Jamie Collins broke Newton's rib on a tackle, even though the quarterback was wearing a flak jacket. That injury ultimately meant Newton had to skip the season opener. This time Carolina's most essential player got his work in, got a little lucky and got done. Let's just hope the next leap Newton makes has a little more at stake.